Hi here, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be answering all your GRC related questions that I've been getting in my YouTube comments, guys. I'm sorry if my voice cracks a bit. I am a little under the weather. I certainly don't look it, but I just am not, I have a little cold. So if my voice cracks, if you see me sipping on some tea or something, don't mind me. I'm not feeling the best today. But let's get into it. It is from Sasha. So she said, ooh, girl, I might need to switch over to GRC. I love that you said it's not too technical because I'm starting to realize too technical is not my role. Do you mind going more in depth over what GRC is and what roles are typically under it? And what you have to do when you say it's not technical? Question mark. Love the vids. Thank you, Sasha. Sure, I'm going to try to answer these questions to the best of my ability, guys. I just want to say Google is your best friend. Like, I'm still new to this industry, so I'm not going to know everything. But I can just give what I know. But I would say also look it up and don't just rely on like people on the internet because they don't know everything. Like, you might find a gem that they didn't mention. So definitely always do your own research as well. So many people, and especially myself, before I fully got into the tech industry, got my Security Plus, I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't think I could do it. It just felt so intimidating because I thought, you know, I have to learn how to code. I need to learn networking. I need to know all these terms or know how to do all these things. And that was really intimidating because I already took a computer programming class in high school, and that scarred me because I just know my brain isn't wired for those kind of things. So I thought that's what I would be going into when I started my tech journey a few months ago. But GRC is just the perfect balance, I feel like, for those who, you know, don't want to code, don't want to be too technical. So I'm excited to talk about it. GRC is all about the structure and the safety of an organization. So GRC stands for governance, risk, and compliance. GRC is making sure your company is following the laws and regulations that it needs to within its industry, managing risk and creating different like processes and procedures to continue to operate efficiently. Like, doesn't that sound good? Like, I feel like that just sounds so, like, it doesn't sound easy, but that sounded good to me because I was like, finally something that doesn't sound like crazy. That sounded good. Okay, so I'll say GRC, you could be a GRC consultant, a GRC analyst. So you're working with all those governance, risk, and compliance. But sometimes you could just work in risk, like as a risk analyst, or just risk management, third-party risk management, or you could just be in compliance. I'm just a compliance analyst, but I would say I'm also working with risk as well, just to assess like certain things, because I am working in the healthcare industry. So I fall under the risk and compliance analyst. Starting with risk, you're just looking at what could go wrong. Is this thing a threat to our organization? Could we lose money from this? As working in risk, you're just looking to identify, you know, hey, is this a threat? Or should we avoid this risk? Should we mitigate it? Should we just accept the risk? Like, what should we do with this potential problem? Governance to me is like the big picture. You're setting up processes and procedures that your organization will follow, and that is obviously really important. So with compliance, that's just making sure that you're following the rules. So I am a compliance analyst, and so I work in the healthcare industry, so it's big that we follow HIPAA or our local like federal guidelines in the industry that I'm in. Because, for example, there could be a day where an auditor wants to come in. They have someone in mind. They say, hey, can you pull up this person? I want to see, do they have all the necessary information? I mean, the necessary documents to be working. And if they don't, you know, it's like, well, what have you guys been doing? So it's just making sure you're staying on top of those things and following the laws that, you know, the states have for us, or just the HIPAA framework. And yeah, so I really enjoy that because I don't want to say my job is easy, but it's not that hard. It's just about being kind of tedious and really meticulous because we're human, so it is easy to mess up. But I just love it, because I would take this any day over coding. No offense to anybody that codes. Like I said, I just know myself. I know my brain is not like really made to code. So let's talk about some roles in GRC. One thing that I love about GRC is that it has a lot of different varieties. So you don't just have to be a GRC analyst. Like if you just want to work in governance, you could just do that. If you want to just work in risk, go ahead, girl. If you want to just work in compliance, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't gotta just stick to one, like just GRC as a whole. So I love the variety that comes with it. And I also think it's a great addition too, because it's like it will make your job search easier. Because like for me, I have experience in risk and compliance. So if I want to apply to something, I probably would I'm going to apply to two things, risk and compliance. I love that. So let's talk about a compliance specialist. So thinking about just following the rules again, of like the laws or internal policies that your company may have. So like say it's like kind of like you're a detective, but instead of solving crimes, you're preventing them. Oh, wow, that just gave me a little spark about something, y'all, because when I was in high school, when I didn't go to college, but I wanted to go, and I was going to go to work in the FBI, and now I can kind of do that. Like, oh my God, I could really do that. I love GRC because it could take you anywhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? Wow, so that's something, because I've always kind of wanted to work in like some sort of like crime kind of thing. So I just had that. That's a thought for me. So like, let me write that down. Next is a risk analyst. So with a risk analyst, you're just like looking for, again, potential risks that could affect your company. So honestly, you just might be analyzing data or developing strategies, again, to help you mitigate risk, to figure out, are we accepting the risk? So that is cool. And I like that too. I'm currently with my bootcamp, the 4th boot camp. I really was interested in third-party risk management. That just sounds really badass to me. I love learning about it. So that was really interesting. I feel like right now compliance and risk are like my two favorites. Governance to me, like, it's definitely a senior level role. And maybe I'll get there one day, but they have something called a governance officer. It's just kind of like making sure the company's operations kind of align with their legal responsibilities and goals. Yeah, I don't know too much about governance. I just know they make a lot of money, y'all. I was on LinkedIn and I saw something, a governance officer, like our governance job, and it was like $400K a year. And I was like, oh my God, that's beautiful. But they don't want no little, like, an entry level person. They need somebody who's a senior level, who's been in the game for damn near 10 plus years. So but that's a beautiful salary, and it's also, I feel like it's something great to work your way up to, definitely. Anyway, guys, there's a list of jobs. Those are just like the 3 that have always caught my eye, or that you'll probably see a lot when you're job searching. So let's just get in more into like, what do I mean by when I say GRC is not technical. So you don't need to be a coder to get into this. It's just, you're just looking at, again, the processes, the plans, risk, and that's it. Like, I would honestly say it's a lot of reading. It's a lot of, again, being meticulous with like what you're looking at, what you're uploading, what you're conversing about. You just have to be like straight, So that's what I mean by that. You're not going to be on the back end like figuring out, oh, how do you fix this on the server? Like, my company, like, they have IT people for that. So if I have an IT issue, I send my questions to IT. I have nothing to do with like trying to help somebody get their computer back on or whatever. Like, I'm just there to make sure they're following the laws, honestly. Still working with technology, but you're managing how things should work, not like the tech itself. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, so that's what I mean, guys. So that's what I mean when I say it's not too technical. Now, like I said, I don't know if I have to code down the line. My manager has never mentioned it. It's never been in the job description, but you could. So GRC again is like an amazing career path, because especially if you're anything like me and you're not technical, it's perfect. Just be prepared. Again, I think I might have mentioned in my other videos, like, for a lot of boring days. I don't want to say my job is boring, but it is. Like, it's not like, oh my God. So if you feel like you need more of a thrill, you need more of like something that you don't want to get bored of. I feel like work is boring in general. It does not matter what you do. When I was a business owner, I was bored. So work is boring, but at least I know I can do something that is not going to be putting like a lot of mental strain on myself, or feeling like, Lord, I done got up in this job. They want me to code and I done lied on my resume. Or I done said I could do something and I don't know how to do it. So that's why I love GRC.